One bright morning on China, all the animals in Swedith were playing in front of Beanbag Pond. Everyone was especially high-spirited on this beautiful day, and the air was filled with excited chatter and singing.
Oh, how I love to bump, bump, bump. Oh, how I love to bump.
Fat, pretty Lena. Fat, pretty Lena.
Tink, Lena, and Jowls were playing Bump Bump, their favorite game. One of them stood in the center of a large circle while the others took turns at trying to bump him out of it. Meanwhile, Swedith had added a new dimension to the game. She was too small to do any real bumping, but nonetheless she found a way to participate. Each time, just after somebody bumped, a big cloud of dust rose up. Swedith would rush up and sweep away the dust just as fast as she could. If the two animals didn't get up before she finished sweeping, then they both lost, and the third animal moved into the winner's circle. Swedith had to be careful she didn't get bumped, but the slight amount of danger added to her fun. While all this was going on, Snee and Turt were having a race around the pond, while Goose was watching regally from Monk's treehouse. Nobody was paying attention as Sunyat the seal walked up slowly. Sunyat had been looking for Lena, thinking that maybe she would join him in a splash in the pool. He was too shy to say anything while everyone else was playing, so he stopped by a nearby bush and watched.
Oh, I love to play a bump bump, to bump bump all the time. Oh, here I come for the charge. Ooh!
Watch them feet tingle, buddy.
Sunyat thought the game was fun, and he enjoyed watching it, but stayed off to the side. There were just too many animals around, and that made him very nervous. But after Swedith finished a quick flurry of sweeping, she looked up and spied Sunyat sticking his head out of the bushes.
Hi there, Sunyat, old buddy. What are you doing out of your cave at this time in the morning?
Sunyat, come play bump bump.
Oh, yes, join our jestful jousting. We are only too happy to add a new player and increase the complexity of bump bump.
Yeah, and you're even big enough to do a spot of bumping is what?
Sunyat, shy. Sunyat, play bump bump. Then sit in pool with Lena.
No, thank you.
I'll even let you do a little sweeping, Sunyat, old buddy.
Well, the invitation is always open. I think that we are ready to resume the contest. Would you like to sit and watch, Sunyat? Okay.
Sunyat, watch Lena play. Lena fat.
So the animals resumed their play, and Sunyat sat and watched. He didn't feel so nervous anymore, although he was still too shy to play. But everybody had been nice to him, and he felt somewhat at home. He would have preferred to sit in the pool, but was afraid to ask. Every now and then he snuck a look around him to see who else was around. There was Goose up in the tree singing to herself. And Monk was jumping up and down, taking care not to dislodge Goose from her branch. Snee and Turt were still racing around the pool, panting as they neared the end. My! And sitting right on the edge of the pool, Alfred was staring curiously into the water, fascinated by his image and watching his mouth move as he called to himself. Sunyat looked back at the bump-bump game and saw that Lena was still in the center, with jowls bouncing up and down before the charge. It was a happy scene, and Sunyat began to feel relaxed. But just then he heard a splash and whirled around to see what had happened. Alfred had fallen in the water and was calling frantically. Sunyat looked at the little orange creature bobbing up and down and acted quickly. He dived into the pond and swam toward Alfred, flapping noisily. He swam faster and faster, oblivious to all the other animals who were watching curiously, surprised at Sunyat for drawing so much attention to himself. Finally, Sunyat reached Alfred and tried to put his flippers around him. But Alfred looked up and smiled happily.
Hey there, Sunyat, old buddy. You don't gotta worry about Alfred. He likes to be swimming about after he falls in the water. Does that quite a lot, you know.
Well, what's going on?
Alfred! Oh, don't pay it any mind, Mr. Dugong, old buddy. Alfred here fell in the water and Sunyat came in to fish him out.
Oh, well, Mr. Dugong, I have been watching this aquatic spectacle for the past few moments with growing interest. I have stumbled upon a provocative and enchanting idea for a totally new kind of game-like experience. You see, Alfred is not unlike a great orange ball. As the thought of ball coursed through my ever-coursing brain, I leaped to the concept that I now set before you. You and Sunyat could propel Alfred back and forth along the water by using your flippers. It would be sort of a sloppy catch.
Hey, that's a great idea, Tingle, old buddy. And if Alfred got stuck on the side of the pond by mistake, I can take my cleaning broom and push him back into the middle.
Well, a bit irregular, but...
Sunyat-like game.
Alfred! I like it too!
Well, that is indeed gratifying. You know, I could help out also. Swedith and I can stand on opposite sides of the pond. When Alfred gets to my side, I then whip out my trusty trunk and gently ease him back to the center of the action.
Yeah, and I can wave my bunting from the tree to make a gentle current, don't you know? Now watch, Sunyat.
That's quite a game we got here, Tingle, buddy. Maybe we ought to get Sunflower to read a little poetry, too.
Let's get on with it.
And so they all began. Mr. Dugong flipped Alfred over on his back and sent him down to Sunyat. Swedith and Tink cheered from the sideline.
Go, let us see some action.
Aye, let's have a team.
Goose was peering squintily from her branch in the tree, and as she bent over to observe the action a little more closely, her foot slipped on a wet leaf, and she went tumbling into the water with a shriek. Her bunting was just about to follow her, but Swedith stuck out her broom and plucked it out of the air before it could get wet. Goose came bobbing up to the surface and looked around for the bunting.
Oh, my bunting! Where are you, my bunting? Here you are, Goose, old buddy. Saved once again by the old cleaning broom.
Oh, thank you, Swedith.
Hey, Goose, now that you are all wet and such, why don't you join us in the game also? I mean, on a more active level.
Oh, well, seeing as I'm all wet already, I don't mind a bit of splashing about.
That's the spirit, little buddy.
Spirit.
And so the game continued. Now and then Monk and Chimp leaped from the trees into the water, splashing Alfred to one side or the other. Alfred beamed happily, enjoying heartily his role of friendly neighborhood ball. Then Snee and Turt stopped by, curious about all the noise. Pretty soon everybody on Tina was involved in one way or another, except Lena, and even she mixed in with an occasional grunt after getting a few drops of water on her nose. The new game was a great success, and Tink was delighted that Sunyat had joined in the fun.